Welcome to Research Business Daily Report, made possible by RBDR's exclusive community at patreon.com. Please visit patreon.com/RBDR and find out how you can help support this video series. I am Bob Lederer. I'm all about identifying change in research. That's really part of my job. And once I do, I throw myself into learning all I can about it. But when it comes to my conversations over the years with researchers who are in the polling business, well, the topic has usually ended up with me being exposed to shaking heads and a very brief conversation. The spate of poor polling projections in the last half-decade, of course, has led to much introspection by legitimate polling organizations. And clearly, election to election, the most difficult thing to ascertain is projecting turnout. Which groups will turn out and how large will that volume be? And will it be different from the volumes and the groups that normally have turned out in the past? That is always a determining factor in election results. And it's more complicated every single election cycle. Only 35.9% of eligible voters voted in the 2014 midterms, and that was the lowest percentage since 1942. Now, the percentage is expected by one and all to be not at all as embarrassing this time around. But even with the bigger numbers, as I've mentioned, the big issue will be the variables. They are novel this year, and the situation is still about a month before the election in a state of flux. For instance, there's a strength of minority Democratic candidates in primaries that have been held earlier this year. And then there is how strongly will millennials and people of color come out. Now, normally in midterm elections, they tend to stay home. But how much stronger than usual will be their participation this year? There is anticipation of that, but there is really no predictions about it. And then there was the eventual influence of the Brett Kavanaugh Supreme Court nomination on GOP turnout. Will they be angry if Kavanaugh is not passed through and elected to the Supreme Court? We won't know about that situation probably until at least mid-October. That's your Research Business Daily Report, made possible by members of our exclusive community on the crowdfunding platform known as Patreon. RBDR is produced thanks to the interest and the generosity of viewers like you who support our daily news videos. But producing RBDR has overhead costs that we need to cover, and those include new costs that really have to do with the RBDR podcast that we just introduced. So whether you are an individual or a company, whether you work for a small or a large business organization, no matter the type of research you do, whether you're on a client, supplier, or support service side in research, or no matter where you are on the planet Earth, we hope that you will continue to have interest in and support Research Business Daily Report. Of course, we always want to acknowledge the latest RBDR patron, and this week we are proud to thank InfoTools for their appreciation and their financial support. You can join our community today by visiting patreon.com/RBDR. Then select the level of patronage that most suits you. Whatever that amount turns out to be, I want to say thank you ahead of time. Have a great research day, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.